Islam. This is going to be part 2, March 30th, 2019. I'm still at Whole Foods in Annapolis, Maryland. I turned off my video for a moment to grab the Holy Cross Circle 7. Okay, as a Hebrew Muslim, I'm Arrington-Bey. My nationality is Moorish American. Dewayne Byfield-Bey. I'm demonstrating I'm your wife this lifetime. I haven't received a call from the National Grand Sheikh or any sheiks or sheikesses, so that's why I'm doing it. Demonstrating I'm your wife this lifetime. Now, in between time, I wanted to also say I noticed unclean spirits, because we're dealing with unclean spirits and spiritual. They keep saying, give her a break. So, what they're trying to do possibly is normalize spiritual acts of terrorism. And then they try to place the thought or suggestive thought of initiation. So these unclean spirits, in their nature, is to cause harm. They're molesters, they're rapists, they're abusers. They're abusing the science of telepathy. They're being used as slaves. Some of them are possessed, and some of them are not possessed. It's in their nature to be this way. So, and by them behaving in this manner, and those that have created these experiments to behave in this manner, instead of them being truthful about what we are among as sophomores as we awake, they try to create a reality, a false reality of what's really going on and what we are among. And what we are among are very unclean species, a very unclean species that they created, and that they are trying to force amalgamate with divine sophomores. You can tell by some of the quote-unquote kids, because some of them are experiments as well, that there's a huge difference in nature from them and us. You can tell, it is no doubt. And so, not all, but you can tell with some of them. So, and just like you can't say everyone that has the science of telepathy is unclean in spirit, because some of them are Moors that were sleeping and was either subjugated or forced to accept this science. And some of them were what you just can't say are. So I wanted to also tell you, so what I noticed sometimes they try to say, give her a break, as though, so when they're sending a sharp pain to my cranium, okay, or a sharp pain to a different part of my body, they are trying to normalize these savage acts of behavior. This is dealing with spirit by saying, give her a break, like they're trying to initiate someone to whatever jurisdiction or unclean spirit they're in. I mean, unclean group they're in. But what it is in their nature. Because these experiments, some of them is in their nature to behave like a savage, okay? And the hospitals that have been created to make profit, because some of these same unclean spirits are working in these hospitals and not created for healing, have been using them for a long time. They have been very profitable, valuable to these medical facilities that have been created to make a profit. Those facilities that are created for healing, well, these species, I would think you would really see them inside their working, because you have to have a thought of compassion. You have to have a form of thought of compassion. And if you, I've seen those that behave like a savage, and then I'm really savage spiritually and mentally, and then I see a family member of them, or they imply to be their family member, come with a hospital uniform. All right, so that person that's behaving like a savage, where attacking my sacred wound or doing things that are unclean, a family member will come and imply to be connected to them, and so I'm like, okay, if the family member is implying to be something else and behaving like a savage, and then they have a kid or a child working in a hospital, imagine. So it's interesting. So I know that you definitely have two different types of medical facilities. You have a medical facility that was created for profit, and then you have a medical facility that was definitely created for healing. And I would think it would be hard or a challenge to hire one of these creatures in one of those facilities that were created for healing, because their nature is to cause harm, to help profit that facility that was created to cause harm so they can stay in business. All right. So that is definitely, even as I said that, I felt a slight little pain in my uterus. So, that's pretty much it. And so once again, the United States Army, Fort Meade is here in Annapolis, Maryland. The Navy is here. There's an academy right behind Burger King, which I told you about 4 months ago, Dewayne, Byfield-Bey. I found out about it. I had no idea that it was not right behind, but it's behind. Because I was wondering why these officers or people implied to be connected to the Navy and the Army would come in to Burger King, and I had no idea it was that close. And this is a few months ago. Someone told me this, but ever since 2016. I noticed those implied to be connected to the Army or the Navy would sit there, or are connected to the Army and Navy, retired, whatever, will come in and sit for hours at Burger King. So, so I thought I didn't realize how close it was to Burger King. And that's pretty much it. And someone just said lied, and then I just felt a dull pain to my right cranium. And so also I want to give testimony and have those that imply to be connected to Orthodox Islam or a practicer of Orthodox Islam, and imply to be connected to the United States Navy and Army. And once again, I found that interesting. My son Abasse Malik Bey was here. He kept listening to Orthodox Islam, and I told him he cannot visit an Islamic temple while he was here. I definitely told him that, because once again, we're among a society that has not been naturalized to uphold the Constitution of 1787. The Abraham Lincoln's proclamations, the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, and Abraham Lincoln's proclamations. So if we are among a society that haven't been naturalized properly in these divine laws of freedom, okay, freedom, and that includes possibly the United States Navy and Army that has not been naturalized. That means if haven't been naturalized to uphold, to take an oath or affirm these divine laws of freedom, then they too could be used to cause harm or behave in an abusive manner. So I told Abasse Malik Bey that he could not, this is my youngest son, while he was here visiting this past summer, that he could not, and this is 2018, he could not visit an Islamic temple while he was here, because that which is not naturalized can be used as a terrorist, a spiritual terrorist, a mental terrorist, or a physical terrorist. And I made sure I told him that in Imani Great Bey, we haven't visited a church, or Arrington-Bey, since we've been here, or Islamic temple, because when you're not naturalized to take an oath or affirm to uphold divine laws of freedom, which our country was built on, then you could be vulnerable to be misled and used to cause harm, and be used as a spiritual terrorist, or mental terrorist, or physical terrorist. And this country in the past have already seen what terrorism can do, whether it's hanging, racist acts, whatever historic events that happen in reference to causing harm. So anyway, that's what I want to end this video with, Islam. And is there anything else I wanted to say? I don't think so. Islam. So I'm at Whole Foods, Dewayne, Byfield-Bey, and Annapolis, Maryland. Islam. And I'll post this and send this video to you, and I posted under another video as well. It's called Sleep and Light.